in that show, I got my man Maul right here in front of me. And I got Dashawn. He off camera though, but he gonna be chiming in with us, man. So this part two of the interview. The first one we talked about Maul, his situation when he got locked up, sent to prison, and all that. So this is post prison now. You know what I'm saying? That we're gonna talk about on part two. Cause I just want him to get that story out. Cause I thought it was interesting. You know what I'm saying? I thought that he could tell the kids something. You know what I'm saying? They can hear from learn from his mistake, or learn from his misfortune. You know what I mean? So what's going on with you, Maul? How you feeling today?
Shit, man, same old, same old. Trying to get through the day, make shit happen, come up with a master plan, You know how it goes, man.
I feel that.
Trying to make shit happen.
What about you, Deshaun? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm cooling, man. Trying to stay warm and it's cold, man. It's too much snow outside.
Definitely. Look, it's funny that you say that. My cousin in Alabama, he talking about, man, that hawk, that wind. I sent him a picture like, I'd rather deal with that hawk than deal with this snow over here.
He said the hawk?
Yeah, talking about the wind. Yeah, talking about the hawk.
Know about a hawk, man.
He like, what? They ain't shut the city down? I'm like, hell no, they ain't shutting the city down. Everything must go. You know what I'm saying?
Them niggas even get snow like us?
Hell no, they got it in Texas and they weren't even prepared. You seen what happened when they got that snow in Texas?
Yeah, the last time, or they got it again recently?
No, the last time it was in March. They ended up shutting it down.
Snowed in and flooded out, all type of.
They ain't know what to do, man. They couldn't move down there.
Yeah, I remember they got a snowstorm in Atlanta years back, like 13, 14.
Charlotte just had one, and if people was running for the hills.
Yeah, he told me, cause when I had went to North Carolina, this was in November, but they had like some little frost on the grass. He was like, yeah, they're gonna shut school down next week. I'm like, for what? Like for this right here, because of the roads they got down there ain't made for the snow. You know what I'm saying? They get real slippery, like that. So that's why they had to shut stuff down, because they ain't used to getting snow down. So we're going to start off with, you know what I'm saying? What was your plans when you came home from prison, and what are your plans you had that so far you've been completing since you've been home?
I had one of my main, like, this funny because, like, right before.
You got to talk in the mic.
I say, like probably about 3-4 months before I got out, I ran across a dude and he knew about credit. Mm-hmm. He started trying to teach me about credit, mm-hmm. and things of that nature, like laws, contract laws and stuff like that. So I'm like, damn. So I'm calling some of my peoples. I'm calling one of my main cousins. Mm-hmm. I'm calling him, and I'm telling him everything that the dude was teaching me. So I'm like, hey, try this. What about this? Look into this. Blah blah. So he implemented some of the shit, and it's working. It's going through. So he like, man, damn, I can't believe it. Talking about dying. So I'm like, boom. So dying. Now he was in the army and shit. Mm-hmm. So dude put me on, told me about the Navy Federal, all this shit. So I'm telling him, like, man, you was in the military, man. You Navy Federal. He like, all right, boom. So he get in there, boom, boom, doing certain shit with his car note, with the credit. Doing a little searching. So by the time I get out, he put me on with the Navy Federal. Boom. Then from there, I do the pledge loan thing. That boosted up my credit. The pledge loan play was so hard. That play was that was one of the hardest plays, man. That play, I'll be like, wait, I don't know if it'll work for everybody if it's the same. You know what I'm saying? But I know for me, I ain't had no credit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Been gone 12 years. So I get out, I get the Navy loan account, and I put $1,000 into it. And then I took out the pledge loan. They froze 1,000, gave me 1,000 basically. And so I just, right off the muscle, paid back 800 of it. Then spending them, just called them, say I'm going to put 800 to that loan. So I got 200 left. I say with the other 200, just put that on auto pay for 6 months. Mm-hmm. So now that's giving me the payment history. A few days later, you look up, I get a credit score. My shit get the ring, I think. I'm like, oh shit, what I done did? I don't know what happened. I'm thinking like, I done fucked up something. What credit card am I talking about?
Yeah.
I look on that motherfucker, because it says zero. Next thing you know, that motherfucker said 612. Right. 612. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's what's up. So boom, 612. Boom, boom. So I had learned about the AUs in there, trade lines, the authorized users and stuff. So I'm telling my other cousin about that. Like, listen, man, I know about this, that, and the third. I know you've been, you know what I'm saying, legit for a long time. Put me down.
Right.
He like, man, no problem. Give me your shit. So I gave my info. A couple weeks later, I get another alert. And I'm like, mind you, I don't be knowing when I get an alert. I'm like, man, what I done did? What I do wrong? I look on that mug, they say 750 something, almost. They went up like 150 points.
Right.
So I'm like, dang. I'm like, man, I called him. I'm like, hey, man.
This right? I did the same thing.
It say 759, man. I just had 612. Like, he like, no, my shit in the high eights. I'm like, oh, so I get the experiment app. Boom, boom. Next thing you know, that shoot up crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? So, that was some of the main plans to learn the credit, learn about the real estate, the properties and stuff. Really multi-unit. That's still what I'm doing. I got a good understanding, but that's what I want to really focus on, the multi-units. Then after the multi-units, land. You know what I'm saying? So that's the next step, the land. Multi-units. Because it really wasn't no particular order for real. But I'm just like credit, multi-unit, credit, property, land. You know what I'm saying? Even the vehicle. I want to build it. I've been hearing. So I put the play down. Boom. Navy Federal. Boom.
Yeah. Easy. Same day.
Man, checking the mail next day. I'm like, what the?
Same day.
This shit is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So stuff like that. Boom. Then the podcast, KO, he had mentioned you when I was locked up.
Right. Shout out to him, man. Happy birthday to him, too,
Yeah,
man.
his birthday today. Him and my brother, they probably going crazy. So, so he mentioned you. And it's funny because when I was in there, I had like a lot of stuff written down, the format, like how I was going to do certain stuff with the podcast stuff. So I had a version, a spinoff basically called The Pull Up. So when I'm researching you and stuff, and once I get out, I'm researching you, and I see him like, hold on, man, he got an edition called The Pull Up, man. How the hell that's even possible? Like,
Right.
I thought I was the only one thinking like that, but that was good though, because when I see things, it be letting me know like it's a lane for something. You know what I'm saying? He always was talking about Gilly and he always talked about Wallow. Always talking about Wallow. Man, you remind me of Wallow. Wallow said that. So I get out, I gotta see who these dudes is, man. I get out and see, and I was impressed. I'm like, damn, okay, I like these dudes. I like what they doing, and it's they paving the way like it's a lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got that. Them some of the plans. What's moving? What's slow is the clothing situation with the clothing line. The clothing line.
Bands.
Yeah,
Bigger brands, I'm sorry.
Not even that one. It's another one.
Okay.
I don't even really want to speak on the name yet, but it's a clothing line. The Giga Bands was just another like spinoff where I just came up with.
Right.
But the main clothing line, we having an issue, a little situation with that, and yeah, we gotta hurry up and resolve that because that can be something nice.
Right.
That could be something real nice, man, on everything. So. That's one of the ones that ain't even really like fell through yet. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, everything pretty much going, and you know what I'm saying, in my favor, man, for real. You know what I'm saying?
When you talked about the whole credit thing, getting that notification, the same thing happened to me. When I first started getting my credit, I was stressing about like, man, I ain't going. I'm calling my homie, they ain't going up fast enough, man. I've been doing it. I ain't missing no payment. Ain't going. I got the credit card. Ain't going. He's like, it's gonna go. Just wait, man. You gotta be patient, man. It's coming, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna come. And then one day I got a notification. I'm like, man, they telling me my shit went down 10 points again. My shit went up 100 points, man. I'm like, what? Then it felt so good to be in. When I got to that 700 range, man, it felt so good. Like when you go in them banks and credit union, they talk to you different. Mr. Thomas, how you doing today? Oh, we got this for you, we got that, we can do this, you know what I'm saying? Versus you going in there like, hey, I need to get this loan for this. Get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? they just talk to you differently when they see that credit score. They offer you everything. So I know that I had that experience, man.
Oh yeah, but for sure with that credit though, like I remember when I first did a CPN, and which is what people don't know is a credit profile number. And my wife, she had a Discover card. I said, put me on your Discover card. And I looked up, I checked my Credit Karma. My credit score was better than hers. Like, she was like, so what's your credit score? I said, I'm about an 810. She was like, mine's only like a 750. I'm like, I walked into the dealership. They looked at me and said, man, get what you want. They started bringing out champagne.
Right.
I kid you not. I kid you not. I'm in a brand new Beamer. I'm like, I was like, man, it's crazy what people don't know. People think like you can actually build your credit, like Marl just said, in 30 days.
Yeah. But let's talk about the big top podcast you guys having that's coming soon. So how did y'all come up with that? What made y'all want to start the podcast?
That was an idea. Another one of my ideas in prison, where I was me and my one guy. We always was talking about. We was always watching sports. We always watched First Take. Max and Stephen A. Smith, and we watched how these guys, when they got guests on there, certain shit they like went around. A question, they'd go around it, or a point. They never focused in on it, emphasizing it. Like they let people get away. Like, no. So we used to be like, we always just simulate the shit. Like, well, I would have said this. I would have never let it. I would have made sure he answered that. I would have made sure it was a yes or no. Like, we kept doing shit like that. So then we were like, well, shit, we might as well come out with our own shit. We always was doing this thing where we was coach, the GM, the owner, the players. You know what I'm saying? And we'd give our point of view, our perspective and shit, and we'd be going in like that. So we like, yeah, that's what we gonna do. Boom. So we went with that, and then, you know, more and more. That was probably like in 16, 17, and then I really just started. Once I started paying attention to what's going on, period, just in the world, just besides sports, I'm like, damn, motherfucker talking. We can expand this. It ain't just got to be about sports. You know what I'm saying? It could be about whatever for real was going on. And then, once I started seeing how the people in the city were, how black people were starting to try to, how I started seeing more people trying to be entrepreneurs and stuff, I said, ooh, especially our city.
Right.
I said, ooh, that's exactly going to be one of like the main things I'm going to do. We're going to have entrepreneurs on there. And we're going to highlight them, you know what I'm saying? Every show we're going to have an entrepreneur from the city, and that's going to be one of the main things, you know what I'm saying? So, once when I was locked up, and I was telling them about some movies ideas I had, one of my cousins was like, yeah, you know, Dashawn, I'll Cali shoot movies. It's funny, because you don't even know this part I'm about to say right here. So, I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah, LA. I'm like, how long? They're like, shit, he been out there for a few years. And I'm like, man, what? So I'm like, oh, okay, he in film school. So I'm gonna give it his number. They gave it a number, boom. So once I reach out to him, called him, I'm talking to him, having a normal conversation. He telling me, like, yeah, I'm out here, I go to film school. So I'm acting like I don't even know. I'm playing off like I don't even know you, but I already know though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, damn, that's what's up for real, blah, blah. So I tell him, like, some little ideas I had. Little idea, me and my dude was shooting out there about a film, you know what I'm saying? And I guess he was going back, you know, telling some of his peoples, Asian people, whoever. And he come back to me like, yeah, I got some people, man, they would want to meet you, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, you got to get out here, this, that, and the third, man. So that really got me hyped, like, ooh, this might be something, man. You know what I'm saying? So from that point on, I already knew, like, oh yeah, I'm about to be fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just get linked back up like this for no reason.
Right.
And shit, here we is today.
Right. Yeah, one thing about the podcast is consistency, man. You got to be consistent, like, and then with these getting interviews with people that say they come like you came like you ain't no problem, never been a problem us getting together, nothing. But like people is sometimes they say they gonna be here and they come up with excuse, just stuff like that. And but just staying consistent, man. It's like for me with my podcast, the biggest struggle just staying consistent.
But you weed them people out though. Them the non-believers though. Them the haters. Like for real. Them the people that think like, oh, this a game and they go nowhere. But when you get on, them the ones that's gonna be beating your door down to be on the show. But like, no, when I was starting from the pavement, where was you at? You ain't believing.
Right.
Or you just lollygagging like shit. It ain't no time. It ain't no time to be lollygagging. Like.
You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go into hip-hop a little bit. It's this thing that I see people do it on Facebook all the time. It's Start Cut Bench. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do it with hip-hop and I'm going to do it with sports. We're going to start with hip-hop. Start Cut Bench. Biggie, Pac, and Jay.
Start, cut, bench.
Yeah.
I got to pick one for each one.
You got, whoever getting cut, whoever getting
I'm starting Jay. I'm cutting. Oh shit! I'm cutting Biggie, man. I'm sorry. I'm cutting Biggie, man.
Oh man.
I'm cutting Biggie.
Oh
and
man.
I'm benching Pop, and I'm starting Jay-Z because it's self-explanatory, man.
Because his longevity.
He, not even the longevity. That's another thing itself. But the fact that he in the position he is, coming from where he came from. You know what I'm saying? So, and to be the same complexion as you and to be able to be there, that's you know what I'm saying? That's amazing. I benched Pac because of the potential, and he one of them dudes on the court where you know he good. He Ricky Davis when he went down there with 10 seconds left and he up by 20 and he want to do a 360 dunk and shit. And you like, come on, man, this ain't what you supposed to be doing, my nigga. Like, you. Pac, you supposed to lead. You had a chance to be a different type of leader, but you influenced a whole different culture. Everybody want to be thugged out because of you. Not like we wasn't thugging already, but you was very influential. So.
But see, this is the thing though. Like when people they get that misconstrued, man. When he said thug life.
Yeah.
But hold on. Let me finish. You ain't let me finish.
No, I ain't gonna let you finish.
You gotta let me finish.
I can't because listen. He's smart too. He knew what the fuck was going on. He explained that in an interview, and we saw the interview years down the line once he was dead. He understood. I'm uniting a bunch of niggas. While it was going on in the moment, he knew what the fuck he was doing, man.
He definitely knew what he was doing.
So the fact that you notice what you're doing, and on the flip side, you a conscious guy. You got to sit on the bench, my nigga.
Remember, we talked about this in the last show.
You got to sit on the bench, my nigga.
We talked about this on the last show.
You misguiding, man.
Listen, listen. He ain't get a chance to show his whole story, though.
And you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't, people still accountable for their own actions and all that. We understand that. Mm-hmm. But we do understand that entertainers are very influential. And the moment you decide to be an entertainer, man, that's the moment you decide to be a leader. Mm-hmm. Regardless what the fuck you think, oh, I'm just in it for the money or whatever the fuck you think you're in it for, nigga, you are an entertainer. People emulate entertainers, man, especially musicians. You know what I'm saying? So, miss me with that, my nigga. You knew.
So let me just say this. Now, we know that he was a revolutionary, but who you gonna listen to? Who you gonna listen to more? This dude talking about thug life? Would you think his definition of thug life is doing all type of reckless stuff, or you gonna listen to this dude that's preaching the gospel of what you need to do as far as like our black history and what we need to be united together? Which one you gonna listen to?
Give some examples. Be specific. Like names them.
You know, you hear to RZA Islam?
Yeah.
So who you gonna listen to?
That's my nigga. I'm listening to RZA.
You cut. I knew you were gonna say that's how you gonna listen to RZA.
But see, how you gonna listen on the music side?
He think differently.
You say on the music side?
But no, I'm saying, who you gonna listen to?
Just talking to me. Just trying to
people
preach
that's
to
in
me,
the
trying to get to
streets,
me.
them knuckleheads that you really need to reach.
Oh, they not gonna listen to a Jay-Z that's teaching
listen,
wealth.
I ain't gonna lie.
No, they gonna listen to it.
They gonna listen to a nigga that's telling you to do some dumb shit.
No,
look,
and
I
go
know
to
what
prison
you're
for the rest
saying.
of
I
your life.
wanted to listen to RZA. It was a certain point in time I wanted to listen to RZA, so I understand. And that's my thing, though.
But on the flip side, what he was doing was he was trying to get all of them on him to listen to him, and then he was gonna flip that shit around. You ever seen? It's this movie called Tupac Resurrection, man.
I've seen it.
I'm telling you, that's what he was doing. But
Man,
he died at 25 years old. Imagine he was a kid. 25, he was a
Yeah,
kid.
he was young. He was young.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. And I know his intentions, like just now. Everybody, I be having intentions sometimes and still stray away. So I understand that. But, no.
But
you was too powerful. At that point, you was already powerful, man.
But he didn't have, like, he was powerful.
He died
like,
for nothing.
He was on his way away
He
from
died
that
for
situation,
nothing.
though.
That nigga
man.
died for being on some goofy shit. Like, Malcolm and Martin and them niggas died for being on the cause. Whether some people got they, Martin was this or Malcolm was that.
I was
Fuck
about
that.
to say.
They knew every day was risking their life. Not even stepping out the house, just being alive. They knew somebody was trying to kill them for them trying to unite their people. You know what I'm saying? And they took that risk every day willingly. Like this, he on the bench, man. Biggie, you cut. Biggie, you cut. I love Biggie. And I used to go back and forth like, which one was my favorite? I ain't never be like, oh, I don't like him because I fuck with him. I want one of them. I like the music, so I like the both of them. Just like I like the Gucci and Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do that. So
I like to say Nip was what Tupac was trying to do, but he got killed early. Like he didn't have the time to really do it because he didn't have the money. He was broke as fuck when he died. You know what I'm saying?
Nip
what
neither.
he was trying to
Nip
do
neither.
is
Nip neither.
But see,
Yeah.
Nip,
Listen.
But Nip he had a chance to really
you're
show
an
you a little
entertainer-
bit.
but look,
me,
but hold on for a second. Like I was actually out there when he got killed at the marathon store.
Yeah.
So like with Nipsey was listening to like people like Dr. Sebi, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, because they was teaching wealth, which is why he was putting the money back into his neighborhood. See, his thing was, it was kind of like a jealousy, and you still caught up in gang life, but he was actually trying to like teach his neighborhood, like, man, put your money back in your neighborhood and not let all the other people, like, look at our hoods these days, like, who own your corner store?
Right.
When you go to the gas station, who own that gas station?
How many times Pac was speaking about that on them interviews? How many times he spoke on that? You know what I'm saying? How many times he spoke on how we got to be united because
Not enough.
they trying to keep us divided.
Guess what interview
You know what I'm
stand
saying?
out?
He was 25 years old.
Guess what interview stand out?
Listen,
Which one?
That nigga said, what the fuck that nigga said? When he spit in the camera, he said some shit, man. I forgot I can't even remember the shit, man.
It was some ignorant shit, though.
It was some ignorant ass shit. At that time, I was with the shit, though.
Right, I was with the shit, too. Like, this nigga real nigga right
You know what I'm saying?
here.
You know what I'm saying? But in all reality, man.
Nip was 35 when he died. Pac was 25. He was still a kid.
You know what
so he was gonna
entertainment,
do
you know
some
what
crazy
rap
shit.
is for us? It's the cherry on top. Well, to them. For the elite, for the people that didn't want us to rise. They seen like, ooh, this entertainment gonna do exactly what it is. Entertain them. Instead of, it's gonna distract them from, instead of learning these laws of the land, they gonna be focused on who shot who got the biggest chain and all this goofy shit, you know what I'm saying? And that was the cherry on the top. So even though I'm brought up in it and I love it, it's like I'm straddling the fence with it because I love the music, the culture, all that. But at the same time, I know the detriment, you know what I'm saying, it caused. And it's like, at this point right now, while we got the opportunity, if something happened and it was a big rise, I'll be with that rise. Like, man, fuck entertainment, man. Fuck that shit. This bigger than that. This about our advancement, you know what I'm saying, our future. So
I think people got caught up in Tupac, the interviews, and not what he was saying in his music.
Because he ain't said enough, man. He'd turn around and say, he'd say, the things that never change.
Right,
That's just the. Then he'd turn around and say, fuck your bitch and the click. You
See,
can't.
that
That
right
stands
there,
out
though,
more
man.
for our culture. That got an effect. That hit more. Niggas care about that more.
But so,
you know this too.
So do you think he would have sold records with making songs like Brenda Got a Baby?
They wouldn't have sold records. That's why
Or
he
do you
knew
think
that.
he had to make those them songs?
No,
like,
because the Dear Mama, that album was my favorite album.
Yeah.
Me Against the World.
yeah.
He made some. All them was conscious songs. Well, The ones that they had the videos, Dear
That
Mama,
one putting him over
So
the
Many
top.
Tears,
Though.
all that. Them was conscious songs, and them was harder than probably any songs on
But
that.
You know what he told Nas?
but be
I'm
honest
gonna sell
though,
the record.
what did you ride down the street to? I can't deny it. I'm a fucking rider.
It was the whole, but you know what? It was the whole aura. It was like this nigga just at that time we looking at like a nigga just got out of jail and he on some fuck the world type shit, like fuck everybody type shit. So that's what made everything. It amplified everything. His whole aura, his storyline, it amplified everything that he did. Like so, he couldn't do no wrong.
He was
Anything
a kid, though.
anything he came with was just it was stupid, dumb, hard. Like.
But he come from a Panther.
He was that nigga that made it popular. It was like after him, it was popular to go to jail even more.
Yeah.
Like niggas wanted to go to jail, get shot. He rapping about getting shot
See,
5
that's why I got
times
the
and
tattoo on
surviving.
my stomach because of high.
You get shot 5 times and surviving. Oh, this nigga want to be like me. Left the hospital too far. You live in fantasy. So that made niggas want to. He Tupac already, and then he saying some shit like that.
But see, that tattoo wasn't even for money over bitches though.
Yeah.
When he got with Suge,
The
the Mob Paru, that's
Yeah.
what he was hanging with them.
But he heard what he said. He a rider. Like, he was just a loyal dude that was with Suge and them. You know what I'm saying?
He
It
was
just
young.
A bad situation.
25,
Biggie
you
was a
still a kid, man.
He
Yeah.
told good stories. Like I like the Biggie, man. He was at one point he was my favorite, and I liked him because I used to be like, this is what I used to be saying. So you really could tell Biggie he really was in the street doing it. I was like, Pac was just, which it ain't no knock, but it was a knock. I was using it as a knock. Like he wasn't doing that shit. He just knew niggas that did a group around it, blah blah. I say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Then I watched Fat Joe. He was on the show one time, and they brought up Biggie, and he was talking about, or was it Anthony Mason? I think it was Anthony Mason.
About the story to tell.
Yeah.
Somebody in there, he was telling the story.
Fat Joe brought.
You know that
brought,
one
that was
Biggie
Fat Joe that brought it up.
Yeah, Fat Joe
Fat
told
Joe
the story. Charles Oakley checked him about it. He said he was never supposed to tell that story.
That wasn't Biggie that robbed him. It was one of his partners.
No, he's talking about he was banging his chick. I got a story.
He said Fat Joe. Well, the way he explained it, he
yeah.
said Biggie was the one that did it.
No, Biggie
So-
didn't do it. Biggie
Well,
didn't do it. It was one of his homeboys that did it. He just wrote the story about what his homeboy went through, just like Pac used to do.
So
you know
Fat
what I'm saying?
Joe lied.
Fat Joe ain't lie. He just said what they wanted him to say.
He
ain't
lied.
lie. He just said he was like the. They asked
He
him what was the
literally
story.
out his mouth said Biggie
They
robbed
asked him
Anthony
what the story
Mason.
to tell was about. He said, "Who was it about?" Because they didn't know which Knicks. He said it was Anthony Mason.
But Anthony Mason
He
is
never
not alive
said
right
that
now.
Biggie did it. He just told him who it was about. And it was Anthony Mason. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but Anthony Mason ain't alive right now, so
Yeah.
he can't really say if it's true or not. But I know he had to apologize because Charles Oakley was on his ass about that. Like that was supposed to be a inside like story.
So you know it was true if he was on his ass about it. You know it was real.
Like, so what the fuck, man? These people, niggas nowadays be killing me.
just
Niggas
happened.
be focused on the wrong shit. That's the shit I be talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
But what's your star cut bench? Pac, Biggie, Jay-Z.
Man, that's a hard one, man. Cause just thinking like I was a huge Tupac fan for real. I ain't gonna lie, and I ain't really listened to Biggie till later on in my life, but I gotta. Shit. I gotta cut Big because he ain't had enough work. Like for real, like a body of work. I mean, them 2 albums was hard, but it wasn't like, but I don't know, I gotta agree with more, man. I gotta go with Star J because the body of work and everything
He
around
understood the assignment, man. It's a business.
it. And
And
Bench
he
Pop.
said, I want to be, however Russ is, Simmons. He said, I want to be like Russ, man. I want to be in that position.
Big had a
And
label
he
too.
excelled that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what Junior Mafia, Lil Kim, and he signed Cam too. Right before he died, it was called Undiaz. I think it was the name of his label.
Yeah, but I mean, Mace brought Cam in, but you know, like
yeah,
I'm
Cam
just saying,
talked about
Big
it.
didn't get to do what he.
was
I mean, it's
25.
sad to say that he died before he actually got to show the world what he was gonna do.
Think about this. He wrote the whole Junior Mafia album. He wrote a lot of. He helped Fees with it, Kiss, and Mace. And his plan was, he's like, man, you got the presence on the stage, so you need to make your own record. You know what I'm saying? You got everything you need to be an MC. But see, like, I can't rap. I don't know how to rap. He's like, I'm gonna take care of that. So
But-
he had a foundation what he was doing. He just died young.
But let me ask y'all this though. Y'all think like the media had a lot to do with the bullshit that they was
Definitely,
going through?
definitely. The media definitely pushed it.
But they don't get the
Pac
blame
didn't
for losing 2 lives. No, Pac definitely
He didn't help it. But the
Pac
media definitely pushed it.
And then Biggie was just what they call it, pedestrian. He was a innocent bystander. You know what I'm saying? Like if Pac would never got killed, Biggie wouldn't have. The chances is he would have never got killed.
I mean, my personal belief, I think Suge was pushing a lot of that shit because it was making him money.
Yeah, Pac, and yeah.
Because it was his beef. It was him and Diddy really beef because his dude had got shot in Atlanta. But the crazy thing about that whole situation is they got shot exactly the same fucking way. Like Biggie was talking to some girls, and that's how the dude creeped up, shot him right same side of the car, passenger side, Pac the same way. He was out the car talking to some girls.
So, bitch,
nigga put that shit. That's what's
it's always
crazy.
they have to say it's always no. I'm sorry.
Conspiracy.
It's always
no.
Hey, but they always say that
it was
though.
the same exact way though. Like,
man, it's always no. It's yourself. You putting yourself in a position.
It's
Nigga,
crazy.
you are an artist supposed to be on a mission to entertain. Go do that and get the fuck out the way. You know that nigga, you a high risk when you just out in the streets. So.
But you 24 years old, you out there in the streets.
All I'm saying is,
what you gonna do?
Jay-Z
What you gonna
alive.
do? You see them girls, you gonna holler at them girls
I'll
too.
probably do that. I'm telling you. Then don't feel sorry for him. All I'm saying is Jay-Z understood what needed to be done, man, and I respect that, man. That nigga came from Marcy Projects, man, and he is not even on this planet. He probably got a house on Saturn somewhere. I ain't trying to what fuck.
The top 5. See, people look at Jay because of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's
they look at him
what it's
because of
about.
the money.
That's what it's about.
What did it cost him to get that money?
I don't know. I ain't about to. I ain't no psychic. I ain't about to
psychic
assume.
either. But
I ain't about to be like,
you
oh,
don't
he
know.
did this.
I'm not
know
even
what I'm
saying no conspiracy
just,
level.
all I
We
know
don't know.
is it took discipline. You gotta be disciplined and focused, and you gotta be on it to be at that level, man.
To me, Pac would have never had that kind of money because he wasn't breaking for them like.
But he didn't have the brains of a Jay-Z.
He didn't have the brains
He
neither.
was too militant though.
He had to, just
You know
like
what I'm saying?
Charleston White spoke about that with the nigga. You got the NIGGA, and you ain't think how to monetize off of it. Charleston White come along and use it and monetize off of it, brand it, and make it his own shit. And
I respect what he did.
He get backlash, but he broke it down. Like, listen, man, Pac, I love music, but he was stupid because he ain't do this. He understands business, bro. And it made sense.
he got taken advantage by every label that he joined.
Man, y'all understand that nigga was 25 years old.
But
man.
but Jay learned the business.
Yeah, Jay ain't
You gotta
get
take it
on
upon
until he
yourself.
was 40 years old when he really started making that bread.
He understood. He understood in his 20s where he wanted to be and what it's gonna take, and he started working towards it. Like it wasn't never like he was just always as a Benny Siegel. Then he just stumbled across, and he started off wanting to be a boss.
He understood because
He understood
Dame
off
taught
when
him
he
the
walked.
business though.
Regardless, he understood.
You know what I'm saying?
He was
But-
around it. Everybody got the opportunity. They all
But
around the boss.
Dame didn't really.
If
Dame
you Pac
taught
was
him
around
the
the boss.
business. Dame
Pac
taught.
got a boss.
Yeah.
So you around the boss. So pick up his tactics, his ways, learn, study. Use the motherfucker.
Pac was too militant.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Pac was too militant, man. He wasn't even about to. They weren't gonna be able to just get him with money and change who he was. Could you imagine Pac fucking? He was too militant.
You don't
man.
believe Jay-Z saying I did it my way?
I think Jay.
They got us so fucked up. We don't think we could do nothing unless we.
No, I know
sell
we
our
can
soul.
do it, but in that industry,
Black people only when a black person reaches a certain status plateau, they be like, man, what he just said, what he do, or that nigga sold his soul. That nigga
I ain't never say he sold his
No,
soul.
I'm
I never
saying.
said none of that.
You asked what he do, but we, as far as what we know what he did.
You know
He
damn
worked
well
hard
them
in the
white
music
folks.
industry, made business transactions, and he's considered a billionaire. That's what he did. So
Pac
when you ask what he did,
Pac wasn't really likable because you got to think about
He
it.
was too militant.
He couldn't put no suit on like Jacob put a suit on to go in the office or you know what I'm saying and talk to. He was just Pac was one of them people you just like the streets loved him, but on a business platform, they wasn't gonna deal with him. Media just wanted to make fun of him.
if you listen to Jay-Z earlier, he was talking about how Biggie, he used to be in the streets like that too, and Biggie used to be trying to get him all the time to focus on this, man, this money and this shit, blah blah. And he finally understood, like, yeah, it is money. You know what I'm saying? Hooked up with Dame, and shit, the rest history. Once he hooked up with Dame, that was the extra oomph he needed. You know what I'm saying?
He also realized it was a time he had to part ways from Dame.
Yeah, because he had a bigger vision, and shit, dude, ain't see. The road we on headed this way. It's a fork in it that go that way. It look good, but hey, my nigga, I'm telling you, man, let's stay on this path right here. Don't try to go that way. It's gonna be some other shit. Nigga ain't wanna listen. See,
Dame was conscious, man, before like it was popular.
Cause you can't tell me you that raw, and this man excelled you. So you that raw, make another one or do it again.
He said on that song.
Why
He
you
say,
can't? Why
people
you
saying
can't?
they made Hov. Okay, make another one.
Yeah, that right there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's obvious. Why? They said Gilly wrote for Wayne. Once Gilly left Cash Money, Wayne sold more albums without you. So, okay, I'm gonna do it again, but this time I'm gonna do it even better.
Just to say they stuck in the past. You can't excel if you stuck on what happened in the past.
Dame raw. He got good businessman and all that, but nigga, you wasn't that raw, cause nigga, you ain't nowhere close to him. Like, I ain't trying to compare you to him, but
Dame was conscious before it was like popular. You know what I'm saying? And he stood on what he believed on, and I respect him for standing on what he believed on. I respect Jay for what he did and the way he moved too. You know what I'm saying? I respect him.
Always preach to them niggas. Benny Siegel, them telling them, come on, man, jump on board, man. I got some shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, we trying to head for the moon, trying to reach the stars. Let's go.
He said, I'm trying to teach Beans to go from the streets to the fame. You know what I'm saying? He said in his records, like, I respect him for how he was moving and what he did. I respect Dame for standing on what he believed in. Like, he didn't let them, because they definitely was trying to break him, because they didn't like Dame, because Dame wasn't coming, you know, respectful, because that's how they was treating us, or, you know what I'm saying, in the industry, how they was playing us, so he knew his business. Just like Suge. Suge might have been, the way he did it was fucked up, but like, he knew the business, and they knew that.
He know it good enough. He know that nigga was gonna gut that backdoor deal with that boy. He know that part. He know something. He know something.
Man, they just knew that.
He tried to muscle his way in, though.
I'm talking about Dame.
Without no Dre, there is no Suge. Without no Jay, there is no Dame. You feel me?
But see, Dame pissed off the right people. That's why he blackballed. It's a such thing as being blackballed from the industry. Like, Dame can't even get a meeting.
It's about Lee Child. Who was it, Lee Child and them?
No, Leroy Cohen.
But the people above him, like, you know,
all them connected.
Like, he want to make movies, and he can't even get them off the ground.
Lee Child. Remember he gave that nigga, funded that nigga.
Oh, that was Lee Daniels.
Lee Daniels. Why I say Child?
Yeah, Lee Daniels.
Who was Child?
Yeah, but it's to the point, like, where
Lee Daniels.
If they see an email like Dave Dash wanted, oh no, it's over. Like, you could get blackballed like that.
He tried to make another movie. I seen it I watched it, the little backyard movie and shit. And it was just like, it wasn't the same. I was just like, and I don't really like talking down on people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you can just tell, like, it ain't the same. You ain't got that crew. You ain't, I don't know, it ain't the same.
He just stood on what he believed in, man. I respect you for standing on what you believe in.
Yeah, that's cool. That's always good, because at the end of the day, look at him now. Him, Jim Jones, they both rising. They coming back, you know what I'm saying? So I like to see that, though. You know?
I mean, all of them learned from Dave Dash. Cam learned from Dave.
I like that shit, like Jim Jones, how he got back relevant, and not only just relevant, he actually understanding business and making moves.
So your top 5 rappers. That's another thing we talked about. Top 5 rappers. You know, we can do this time, and then we can do all time. Like this generation.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do it like that then, but yeah, I guess we can do it like that. I don't know. I ain't really gotten my top. I was Jay-Z number 1. Jay-Z. He'll have to be after that. I want to say it kind of got to be that order too. Jay-Z, Pop, Kiss. Jay-Z, Pop, Kiss. I want to put Kiss above Pac. And everything. I want to put Kiss above Pac, man. Kiss. And then right after Kiss, it's like Cam. Something about Cam, man. That I just love when that nigga be in a certain zone, man, and he be flipping them words, man. I was listening to him earlier and shit.
He just did a freestyle on High 97.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? And the emphasis, man, like his demeanor when he be having that I don't give a fuck like with the love, like you know what I'm saying? And then when I watched him do the arrogance, man, and I love that shit about it. Like he don't change it up and switch it up. I watched the one when he was out there in the yard. The courtyard up in New York and shit, and he had the little high school jersey on, and the shit that he was saying on there, and how he just drew the crowd in. He had them all, you know what I'm saying?
You talking about when he was battling that old boy in the project?
He wasn't battling it. I don't know if somebody else rapped before him, but the clip that they always show is he be the dude. They leaning on the car, and he rapping. And he tapping the dude, talking some shit.
You gotta watch the whole thing. They was going back and forth.
Oh, they was?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I always just see that clip when he had the jersey on. Okay, yeah, see, I just see that. And you can just see how he had grasped the attention, man. Everybody just, certain shit he'd say, they get to run off, laugh, oh, hell no. And he bringing up certain scenarios that have happened. And I was just like, yeah, man. Me blocking it was raw for their time. But some of the shit these niggas be coming up with, the wittiness, man, I'll be, a lot of these niggas' metaphors and shit be better than any nigga back in the days, man, because the range that they use to their comparisons and shit, man, be just more clever, you know what I'm saying? Don't be just straightforward. Pac really wasn't a bar type person. He was just hitting you with reality, and it hit so close to home, to heart, you just felt it. So for me, it'd be like Jay-Z,
said Kiss, Cam,
Jay-Z,
Pac.
No, I'm yeah, man, fuck that, nigga. Jay-Z, Kiss, Cam, Pac, and then it was somebody else. Somebody I like a lot too. I it's one of my all-time favorites, man. It's Wayne. I love Wayne, man. And the reason why I love Wayne like that, well, I don't really listen to him that much. I ain't listen to it, most of his music in the last decade, for real.
Would you put Benny Siegel in your top 10?
Yeah, Siegel in the top 10. He's definitely in the top 10.
See, my top 5 go a little different.
The reason why I've got Wayne in there though, is because to me, he was absolutely the most clever rapper I done heard. From the teenage years, from 15, like not the shit they came out with that got them popular, but the shit that they was making that wasn't hitting mainstream. Once you would go back and listen to them albums, and you hear this little dude on here rapping, and you'd be like, man, this little kid, this little nigga is witty with his wordplay, man. Like, how the fuck is he saying this shit? Like,
coming up with that.
So to be able to sustain that for almost 30 years, man, that shit is insane, man. Like, yeah, so he got to be in my top 5 as far as rapper.
What's yours?
My top 5, to be honest, I feel like, they got to share the number 1 spot.
No, ain't no sharing. We ain't doing that.
Okay, then I'm gonna go Scarface. I'm gonna go Scarface at 1.
That's my guy.
2 would be Jay. I go 3 Pac, 4 Big, 5 would be Kiss.
That's similar to mine.
I just feel like Scarface, man, I ain't gonna lie, he moved me more than Jay.
Yeah.
Face would normally be in there, but them 3 niggas, I ain't taking them out, man. Kiss. Cam,
no, I got Kiss in there though.
Kiss, Cam, or Wayne, man, because the word rap, they were rap. I look at it more than just who you is, because some people judge people off of. You used to hear this term like, man, that nigga really bought that life. Like, nigga,
that don't
you
make
in
you a
Cleveland,
rapper.
Ohio, you ain't never been to Atlanta, my nigga. Or you ain't never been to New York. You don't know this nigga from a can of paint.
Right.
Fuck you mean he really bought this life, really bought that life. So I'm going off of rap, these words, this content, these lyrics.
Yeah, it's a business.
So,
that's a business. That's a job.
So that's why I'm gonna judge this person off first and foremost. Then of course I'm gonna look at your character and see how you conduct. You know what I'm saying? and use that to make my judgment. But first and foremost, it's these lyrics, man. So I be liking to use different terms like who harder, who a better rapper. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. They got different meanings. If somebody say who you think the hardest rapper, I'm gonna name somebody I think the hardest rapper, BG. Some shit like that. To me, he the hardest rapper. Like I love BG. Like if you just had a top 5 hardest rapper, BG would be my number 1 top 5 hardest rapper.
Yeah,
And it'd be like styles. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different categories, but the word rapper, I'm thinking of the niggas that's going in that booth, putting on that mic, and they rapping.
Styles P, the most underrated.
Yeah, you gotta you judging rap off the artistry and the business. I'm not judging it off the lifestyle.
That's how I do. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah,
so
I ain't never been in Houston. I don't know what the hell Scarface do. I just know I love his albums.
Rappers, though. He like in my top 5 for real. But them dudes' lyrics so hard, man. Yeah. Cam, Kiss, and Wayne. I had to he got to come after them or something. But that's one of my favorite rappers. Face.
That's my guy. He definitely my top 5. I ain't about to mention mine because I can't put it in no order. I just say all the top 5. Like you said, Kiss. This ain't in no order. Scarface, Kiss, Jay. Scarface, Kiss, Jay, Biggie, and Pac. I put Pac in there.
I knew you was gonna say that old school ass Biggie, man.
I put Pac in there and Biggie. Like Pac hard, but he wasn't lyrical like Biggie was. Like Biggie was.
Yeah, he knew he was aware.
Man.
So he rolled off of the word.
Yeah, the next one we going into boxing real quick. I know we both like big boxing fans. So Canelo Alvarez, which a lot of people saying he the GOAT of this generation.
That steroid freak, man.
they in the works with him and Jamel Charlo. That's the big Charlo, the one that's undefeated. I think he had 160, I believe.
So why you want to fight Earl Spence, who want to fight him bad?
Who?
Charlo?
Canelo.
Canelo.
Yeah, Earl Spence want to fight. Earl Spence Jr.
He want Canelo to come down to about. Earl said he ain't going over 160.
Earl is spanking though.
He said he ain't going over 160.
He ain't gonna fight Crawford either.
That ain't gonna happen. So, but Charlo, he'll go up. You know what I'm saying? They in the works of trying to get that fight done.
He a nigga, so
he
gonna.
So who y'all got though? Canelo or Charlo?
Think about Canelo. I don't know. It's like I just realized, and Bernard Hopkins said it the best.
You said Canelo?
Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The Mexican boy.
Yeah, Mexican.
He don't look Mexican, but they say he's Mexican.
Yeah.
But
he's Mexican.
But no, Bernard Hopkins said it the best. He said, man, they pick and choose fights. He was like he said the Hispanic boxers, they come to the black gyms to try to learn how to. They don't roll their shoulders and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you ever watch they fight, they'll sit there and go toe to toe and get
I like
beat
watching
down.
this Puerto Rican and a Mexican fight.
It's
them
just
two
rock 'em,
bitches
sock 'em, robot.
it's about the country. Them two bitches don't give a
It's
fuck
about rock 'em, sock 'em,
this
robot.
one for the country. Hey,
They'll get beat down in the middle of the
probably
ring.
told them, hey, listen, disregard everything I taught you. Go beat his Mexican ass. Hey, disregard everything I told you. Go beat the fucking Puerto Rican beans out that nigga. I'll tell you that, because them bitches go in that bitch and get the...
And they'll stand toe to toe in the ring.
Taking it like...
You
You know
know,
what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck?
I don't like them. I like them.
I'm rolling with Charlo, man. Why wouldn't I?
you know a brother gonna strategize.
Why
He go,
wouldn't
okay,
I
pick
gotta
you
roll
apart.
with him, man.
I'm going with Charlo too.
I gotta
but
roll with
That's
him.
what I'm gonna say about Canelo. That
Canelo
last
made-
fight, I think it was.
He made what's his name look stupid though, didn't he?
Who was it?
Floyd
Keith Thurman?
dude. Remember when he fought Floyd dude?
Who,
The nigga from Cincinnati.
Adrian
Oh,
Broner.
Broner?
Yeah.
Broner wasn't ready for that
He
fight.
ain't fight Canelo.
Yeah, he did.
He fought Pacquiao. He ain't fight Canelo.
So he fought Pacquiao.
He never fought Canelo.
No, he ain't fight Canelo.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. Damn,
Yeah.
that was Pacquiao?
Yeah, because
and if you watch that fight, this is what you do, right? Turn the volume down.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
That was Pacquiao.
Listen, turn the volume down and watch that fight. Don't listen to what they saying. Like, just turn the volume so you can't hear that. You really gonna be tuned in to the punches getting hit, connected, and all that. He did good in that fight. I wouldn't say he won, but it was way closer than what they tried to make
He
it
was
seem
too cocky in that fight. Like, all that shit, you gotta.
He just ain't let his hands go. That's the only
like,
thing.
You trying to be Floyd and you fighting a nigga that's arguably the best boxer we done seen. And you think you ought to be doing all this little turn around and all this dumb shit. No, nigga, get in that bitch and box, nigga.
But see, Floyd had let him go though. Remember at first Floyd had him.
He was never signed with Floyd.
He was never signed with Floyd, but
he was just pushing him.
Yeah, he was pushing, but then after the Mondana fight, because Floyd told him he wasn't ready to fight Mondana, and he did it anyway. Remember, Mondana had him noodle.
That's what I'm talking about. I knew he fought one of the motherfuckers.
I respect him. I don't care. Everybody talk shit about that fight with Adrian Browner, but I respect that nigga. He stood there, and he still was throwing his hands. That's the last time he threw his hands in the fight. You ask me. But after he was hurt, he stood there and still was throwing hands with this nigga, man.
I'm gonna tell you,
I gotta respect his heart.
I'm gonna tell you what the future is. Tank Davis.
I don't know. I seen something.
I like Earl. I like Earl.
That last fight.
You don't think Gervonta Davis? Man, come on. He won that fight.
Which one?
I seen something in that his last fight. Dude,
he went to war with him. He had to go to war with him.
Spanish dude.
His last name was Cruz.
Spanish dude.
Yeah, I seen. He can be beat.
But anybody can be beat. You got a puncher's chance.
Can be beat.
They always say.
I like Earl, man.
And I'm gonna tell you something about the reason why I think Charlo. I think he can get Canelo, but to
Canelo
be honest,
is hard too.
Canelo crafty, man. Like he fought
remember
that
Floyd
dude.
gave him a second fight.
No, he only fought him once.
He only fought
him once.
He fought him once.
Yeah,
he fought twice.
He fought him when he was young.
They said, he's supposed to be coming back there. I was hearing he was coming back to fight him.
He fought twice. He fought McDonough twice.
He fought McDonough twice.
Okay, I know one of them. That's the one that hit hard then.
Yeah,
but no, like
but
you know why Canelo looked like that? He going to the black gyms. He learning how to roll his shoulders, get out the way, instead of just standing. Like they don't train them Hispanic boxers to like strategize. Like you ever look at like some of the other fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard and stuff. You know they get in there and dance with you. So he go to their gyms now.
My favorite motherfucking boxer was Roy Jones, man.
Oh, yeah, Roy Jones is motherfucker.
That nigga going that bitch. Any nigga that can throw both his hands behind his back and he duck low like a snake
and still knock you out.
and still jump up spring out at you and knock you out.
Canelo's last fight was Caleb Plant, and when I seen in that fight, like he adapted to him because like he couldn't hit him at first because Caleb Plant had good defense. He was doing the shoulder. He looked like Floyd out there with his defense, so he couldn't really hit him at first. So what he did was he started going to his body. He knew he ain't had no, you know what I'm saying? So he started going to his body. And he went to his body, he let his hands down. That 1 second he let his hands down, he got caught. It was over with.
I'm going to tell you.
What about your boy? Crawford and
Spence?
Yeah.
They ain't going to fight.
No. Crawford and
Sean Porter.
That,
I don't like, man, that was some bullshit.
What?
Man, Porter was getting spanked, man.
He wasn't even hurt. He wasn't even hurt, man.
That hurt.
He wasn't not hurt.
That hurted him.
He only hit him. I swear to God, they were talking about his father could have said that he was taking too many punches. Watch that fight again. He wasn't even hit.
That's how
you know like
he was salty at himself. He went down and pounded the ground.
You know why he went down? Because he was low like this. When he ducked, he get low like this.
What I'm saying
he was so low, his butt was down there touching the mat.
The same thing. If you pay attention to that and slow it down, I got it on my phone. When you pay attention to that, the nigga caught him right there. That shit hurt.
Yeah, your body.
That rib / kidney.
When he knocked him down, that second time.
But he professionally trained, so it ain't gonna hurt him as much as it's gonna hurt.
But you still got nerves in your body that you gonna automatically
drop. You ain't gonna drop if you ain't hurt.
Yeah.
You don't drop for who the fuck is gonna drop for nothing? It hurt, and he was sorry to himself. Like he saw, like, can't believe I let this nigga get me.
See, you know and only like it because he from Akron.
He wasn't knocked out.
Just that. I'm gonna tell you, when he knocked him down that second time, I was arguing with dudes on Facebook about this. I had to put the video out. He went across his head like that. He was so low and he was bent down like this. That's why he really fell. The punch didn't really knock him down. It didn't really hurt him. He went across his head. That's the only one that touched him.
How many boxers you seen that got counted out from body shots?
You gotta remember this, man. Them dudes is only like 150, 160. So they can be hurt. Well, for some shit that ain't as powerful as you would normally see from a 180.
He should have stopped that fight, man. You ain't hurt and you beating the fucking man.
That's his son, though. Like you don't want to.
You know this.
You know what he said though? He said because he ain't trained hard. Nigga, I would have stole my father.
Man, boxers.
I would have stolen you for saying that shit. You should have said that shit between me and you.
Man, boxers that went home and died from a trainer not throwing in the towel.
But he wasn't hurt like that though. He was not hurt like that to be like, oh, he can die. He can really get fucked up.
Man,
he wasn't even hit.
Porter was losing that fight.
We
He
seen
wasn't.
it.
No, he wasn't.
We seen it.
He
We seen
wasn't,
it. We
man.
seen it from the TV. He right there,
Anyway.
closest to us, and he professional.
We're gonna go to cancel culture because we can wrap this up.
Oh,
So
shit.
lately, in it, you know, the Fifth Amendment was freedom of speech. But when you get into the industry, you say the wrong thing, they cancel you. How y'all feel about cancel culture?
Man, fuck cancel culture, nigga.
You ain't gonna be on long.
The only way they gonna be able to cancel me is if they put me in Guantanamo Bay or something. You feel me? We don't know what the fuck they talking about. Other than that, nigga, I'm gonna talk. It's a mic. It's a live somewhere. It's a cell phone somewhere. I'm gonna get on that bitch.
You would go from a million views a show to one view. Like
one person look at that. One person gonna be watching me famous. They gonna hear it, then they gonna take what I say, screen record it, and then they gonna post it on some shit. Like it's gonna fuck cancel culture.
Hey,
How you gonna cancel?
I don't like it
What
either,
is
man.
what is you canceling? You just trying to say
Stopping that money.
don't fuck with them and what? They say that about a lot of people when they still around.
Just like you said, that 100 million. You'd
They
be
said
like,
about
yo, Baby,
Baby.
like fuck all of
Man,
them.
they said about the baby. They said about I can't even think of the other people. But they
But
just
on the baby working hard trying to get back on.
They said about all them niggas, man. Dave, all them niggas, man. They said about a lot of people, man, and even white people, and they still around.
I
Like
hate it, man.
I know one thing right now is they add so many letters to that LGBT.
Q.
They treat that worse than saying the word nigga. Like for real.
They a mob. They
Nigger
coming
is a
for
thing
you.
of the past now. Say something about gay
them,
people.
They coming for you. With that cancel culture, man, they hit them pockets. That's why everybody, you know, I ain't mean that, I meant this. But if you ain't getting money from them, you getting your own money.
Man,
They can't stop you.
Tracy Morgan lost
especially
out on
with the
2 million
internet,
episodes.
you
for
put
that.
you're saying
right out
like
to the
cancel
consumer.
culture is a group of people, a specific group.
Man, it's different groups of people. LGBTQ is one of them.
Remember, just going back to this, Tracy Morgan did a stand-up saying if his son was gay, he said I would whoop his ass every day. I'll beat the gay out of him. Which is, I ain't mad at it. I laughed at the joke because if it was my son, I feel the same way. He was supposed to be on a TV show making $2 million an episode.
Right.
He lost